On the rugged northern coastline of São Paulo, where the emerald slopes of the Serra do Mar plunge directly into the Atlantic at Praia do Guaecá, architecture must negotiate between lush tropical shelter and total climatic openness. Completed in 2023 by renowned Brazilian firm André Vainer Arquitetos, this 505-square-meter residence reinterprets coastal modernism with quiet confidence. Rather than imposing an impermeable barrier against the elements, the home unfolds as a breathable framework of courtyards, timber eaves, and shaded verandas, a serene pavilion designed to welcome the sea breeze, filter coastal light, and immerse its inhabitants in the raw beauty of its surroundings. Framed through the sprawling canopy of a seaside almond tree and slender coconut palms, the residence reveals its muted sage-green volumes against the steep, jungle-cloaked backdrop of the coastal range. André Vainer Architects positioned the house with deliberate restraint, allowing the architecture to settle naturally into the landscape rather than dominate it. The low-slung, double-pitched roof floats lightly on exposed dark timber rafters, nodding to traditional Brazilian shelter while maintaining a distinctly contemporary silhouette. Generous glazing on both levels catches reflections of the coastal sky, immediately establishing the home's permeable relationship with its beachfront setting. From an elevated vantage, the house's thoughtful spatial geometry becomes clear. The 505-square-meter footprint wraps around a central courtyard, creating a sheltered microclimate protected from strong coastal gusts while maintaining an unbroken dialogue with the Atlantic horizon. Corrugated metal roofing slopes gently outward to shed torrential tropical rains, while powder blue horizontal balustrades delineate a sun-drenched upper terrace. Potted vegetation punctuates the rooftop deck, echoing the lush crowns of the palms swaying along the water's edge. Down on the manicured beachfront lawn, the two-story elevation reveals its horizontal rhythm. Tall palms stretch toward the cloudless sky, their slender trunks creating a natural vertical counterpoint to the home's elongated, low-profile architecture. The sage-green facade is segmented into distinct bays, with slatted light blue screens and deep cantilevered overhangs providing essential solar protection. A raised planter bed lines the concrete base, blending indigenous coastal flora directly into the building's edge. A direct frontal view emphasizes the subtle displacement between the building's two main roof sections. By splitting the volume and stepping the roof lines, the architects break down the massing and promote passive air circulation through clear-story gaps beneath the eaves. Textured Kobogo breeze blocks and horizontal louvered panels screen the private quarters above and living zones below. These porous elements filter harsh tropical glare into delicate patterns of shadow, all while allowing coastal breezes to drift freely through the interior. Across the primary seaward elevation, transparency takes center stage. The ground floor dissolves almost entirely into floor-to-ceiling glass sliders, opening the shared living and dining spaces to the wide expanse of lawn and the ocean beyond. A central sliding gate of turquoise latticework provides security and privacy without sacrificing airflow. Above, a continuous balcony links the upper bedroom suites, offering every guest an uninterrupted panorama of the Atlantic surf. On the street side, the arrival sequence presents a more grounded, understated presence. An open-air carport is sheltered by a minimalist timber pergola, draped in climbing vines that soften the crisp architectural lines. Under the tropical sun, the slatted pergola casts sharp geometric shadows across the sage-green entryway. A delicate inset of square breeze blocks and a clean house numeral lend the street facade a sense of quiet, modernist refinement. Stepping beyond the threshold brings you into the private central courtyard, where architecture and landscape converge. The deep roof overhang, supported by dark timber brackets, extends far beyond the wall plane to shield the exterior stucco from sun and rain. Broad-leafed banana plants rise beside a vertical slot window that cuts through the facade, drawing daylight deep into the interior corridors. Below, the edge of the swimming pool ripples in the sunlight, casting dancing reflections onto the muted plaster walls. The central courtyard is anchored by an intimate swimming pool lined with soft teal tiles, framed by a manicured patch of lawn and a cast concrete bench. To the right, a lush ivy-covered wall adds texture and cool acoustic dampening to the outdoor enclave. From this protected haven, sightlines flow directly through the open ground floor living area to the ocean on the opposite side. This cross-site visual transparency reinforces the sense of a home without boundaries, effortlessly catching the prevailing ocean breezes. Looking across the courtyard toward the upper floor, an elevated terrace is lined with a collection of terracotta planters, bringing greenery to the second-story circulation deck. The powder blue slatted railing acts as a light, semi-transparent veil against the sky. Above, the exposed timber purlins and white ceiling panels of the sloped roof provide generous shading, ensuring the upper walkways remain comfortable even during peak afternoon heat. Below, the covered veranda invites relaxed, open-air living. From the upper deck, the courtyard reads as an outdoor living room carved out of the tropical vegetation. Beneath the shade of the second-floor cantilever, contemporary blue lounge chairs and an accent coffee table create an inviting spot for morning coffee or afternoon reading. Tall coconut palms rise through the open roof opening, connecting the enclosed sanctuary of the courtyard to the vast coastal sky above. Every angle celebrates the lush flora of Praia do Guaecá. Tucked into a quiet corner of the courtyard, dense plantings of broad-leafed philodendrons form a verdant pocket garden against the green exterior walls. Large paneled corner windows capture crisp reflections of the palms and coastal light. Looking through the glass, a private ground floor study is revealed, where an energetic splash of warm mango orange furniture contrasts delightfully with the cool, serene tones of the exterior architecture. Inside the primary living pavilion, André Vainer Arquitetos embraces an honest palette of raw materials. Exposed board-formed concrete ceilings overhead and polished pale terrazzo floors underfoot establish a cool, tactile backdrop tailored for barefoot beachside living. Floor-to-ceiling glass sliders wrap the room on multiple sides, dissolving the boundary between indoors and the oceanfront lawn. A curated mix of mid-century-inspired furnishings, including an emerald green sofa, warm timber coffee tables, and a bold cherry red credenza, infuses the airy space with Brazilian modernist flair. The open-plan dining area sits at the intersection of the living room, kitchen, and outdoor verandas. A substantial, solid timber dining table surrounded by classic leather and wood chairs commands the center of the room, illuminated by warm, natural sunlight. To the side, bespoke canary yellow cabinetry with glass display inserts introduces an unmistakable pulse of color. Expansive sliding glass panels peel back completely, linking the indoor dining space with the covered outdoor lounge and courtyard beyond. The kitchen celebrates vibrant functionality with custom cabinetry clad in bright yellow FÓRMICA Brazil laminate. A sliding pocket partition allows the culinary area to either integrate seamlessly with the dining hall or close off for private meal preparation. A high-top wooden breakfast table with matching stools sits beneath an exposed concrete ceiling and white ceiling fan, offering a casual spot for quick morning meals. Stainless steel appliances and durable surfaces ensure the space easily withstands the rigors of coastal entertaining. From the prep counter, the kitchen opens up with continuous horizontal windows framed in light blue, bringing panoramic views of the coastal garden directly to the sink. The crisp white solid countertops and integrated deca fixtures balance the radiant yellow millwork. The design prioritizes natural cross-ventilation, ensuring cooking aromas and humidity are quickly swept away by incoming sea breezes, creating a light-filled workspace that feels directly connected to nature. Positioned directly along the oceanfront axis, the covered veranda serves as the primary outdoor dining room. A square, slatted charcoal blue dining table and metal armchairs are framed by slender concrete pilotis and ceiling-height glass sliders on both sides. With the doors pushed wide, the veranda becomes an open breezeway where diners enjoy uninterrupted ocean vistas across the green lawn, accompanied by the gentle, rhythmic sound of breaking Atlantic waves. Ascending to the upper level, a linear open-air corridor connects the bedroom suites. Shaded by deep timber roof overhangs and lined with slatted turquoise blue railings, this walkway offers an elevated vantage point over the manicured grounds. In the late afternoon, golden sunlight sweeps across the balcony floor, illuminating the lush crowns of coconut palms and the sparkling surf rolling into Praia do Guaecá against the distant coastal mountains. At dusk, the residence transforms into an illuminated beacon along the shore. Warm interior lighting by Reka casts a golden glow through the expansive glass facades and perforated screens, highlighting the rhythmic structure of the concrete and timber frames. The muted green exterior takes on a deep, tranquil tone against the twilight sky, while subtle landscape luminaires gently graze the lawn, bringing a serene, theatrical atmosphere to the evening coastline. The ground floor architectural plan illustrates the clarity and logic of André Vainer's layout. To the rear, a covered carport and service quarters provide practical utility, while the central courtyard and pool create an organizing spine for circulation. The beachfront side of the floor plan is dedicated entirely to communal life, featuring an expansive open-plan living room, kitchen, and covered verandas that merge effortlessly with the surrounding gardens. The upper floor plan showcases the home's private sanctuary, organized along a linear deck overlooking the central court. 5 generous bedroom suites, each with dedicated en-suite bathrooms, are lined up along the ocean-facing facade. Every suite opens directly onto the shared balcony, guaranteeing panoramic sea views and cross-ventilation, while strategic partition walls ensure total acoustic and visual privacy for family and guests alike. The roof plan reveals the dual-pitched geometry engineered for tropical weather. Large, gently sloping corrugated metal planes extend far beyond the building footprint to shed tropical deluges and maximize shade. The structural grid of exposed timber beams is clearly delineated, alongside carefully concealed technical areas for water storage tanks and solar collectors that support the home's sustainable, self-sufficient infrastructure. Elevation drawings highlight the home's low-slung, balanced proportions and layered facade system. Elevation 01 depicts the primary oceanfront facade, showing the continuous horizontal balcony rail and the interplay of solid walls and breeze blocks. Elevation 02 shows the side profile, illustrating how the single-pitch roof tilts toward the rear to maintain a discrete, human-scaled presence along the coastal property line. Elevation 03 and Section AA provide a detailed look at the home's vertical zoning and structural foundation. The section cuts through the carport, central courtyard, and 2-story living wing, showing the high-ceilinged spaces and subterranean rainwater cisterns. The drawing demonstrates how the upper floor's sloped roof overhang creates a tall clerestory zone, encouraging hot air to rise and exhaust naturally through passive thermal buoyancy. Section BB cuts longitudinally through the residence, detailing the internal staircase and the structural connection between the reinforced concrete ground floor and the lightweight timber-framed upper level. The drawing highlights the generous ceiling heights in the living areas and the precise cantilever of the upper balcony, illustrating the meticulous engineering that allows this 505-square-meter home to feel remarkably light on the land. The House on the Northern Coast of São Paulo by André Vainer Arquitetos exemplifies the best of contemporary Brazilian architecture, deeply responsive to climate, rigorously organized, and attuned to the sensory pleasures of tropical living. By harmonizing raw concrete and warm timber with vibrant color and open-air courtyards, the residence transcends mere coastal retreat. It becomes an enduring vessel for coastal life, where architecture and the Atlantic rhythm become one.